And Woody likes the crooked cock.
Stressful. Because you're right, like the combativeness of everyone walking in. Because like when I bought my car a few years ago, like I went in with the thought of like, these guys are going to try and take you for a ride. Like, be defensive. Like, don't agree. Like
when
be
someone's
willing
like
to
that,
argue.
when someone's like that, you just immediately disarm and be like, look, it sounds like you've done your research, sir. So let's just like, you're going to get the best deal available. The way it is we pay a certain price for the car. We try not to lose money when we sell one. We'll show you the invoice. How about on a $50,000 car, we make $1,000? Does that seem fair? That's not a huge markup, and they're usually like cool.
My salesman was a very cool guy. He was super chill. He was similar to that. It was the finance guy who wouldn't let me leave for like 40 minutes, and he kept like giving me shit to sign where he had snuck an additional fucking insurance thing in, and I'd be like, no, I said no to this. Remember that from 40 seconds ago before you printed it? I said no. And then he like did it again. I had to do it like 3 times telling him I don't want any additional shit. And they are skeevy as shit, those finance guys. He literally snuck it onto the contract. If I hadn't read it and like the little line item, I would have signed it and I would have owed an extra $60 a month or whatever the fuck.
Well, that's why he gets paid so much.
Yeah. Probably not $60 a month. That's ridiculous. But more than I want to pay.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't sign something, he's getting like a base pay on that deal, most likely, depending on if he made anything on the rate or not. So yeah, I mean, it's his job to sell it. When I bought that motorcycle last year, I was like, before she got started, I was like, listen, I'm not going to buy anything at all. And when I wreck this bitch, it's wrecked. Like, I don't care about wheels and tires and brakes and insurance and rock and damage. I was like, I promise you, I don't want any of it. Just like basic bitch, like let me sign and get out of here.
Well, I hated that guy trying to sneak something onto the contract because for a couple of years out of college, I worked at fucking Enterprise, and so many of my coworkers would just reduce the price, throw on insurance to get their own sales numbers up, and then like if I'm doing fleet management returning it, they're like, I didn't pay this, and then it's like, you're right. I have to return that for you, like refund that for you. So you actually paid $4 a day because that bitch Amy cheated again because she wanted to go home early. I fucking hated that. And so when someone tried to sneak something on my contract, it really pissed me off. Like I would do that too. Like early on, I'd be like, hey, I got to get my numbers up. How about I give you roadside assistance and I lower your price $6 a day? You're actually saving 40 cents. And they're like, yeah, that's great. And I'm like, hell yeah, brother. Roadside assistance package, a little wrap for you. We called that the wrap package, where you just straight up tell someone, I am on the back seat of the struggle bus today. I'm giving you free roadside. When you go out to the lot, please just tell them, yes, I purchased roadside. Like, just say that. And they're like, oh, that's great. Is this like an inside deal? And I'm like, yeah, yes. Like, an inside deal insofar as it makes me not get yelled at by my fucking bitch boss.
We had to spoof our customer reviews because it was a corporate store. And reviews were such a big deal. And it like 99% is a fail. 99% is a fail. It's got to be 100%. And every time I sold a car,
from you.
Every time I sold a car, I'd be like, listen, they want this 100% so bad that we can get you free oil changes, free car washes, multiples of them. You got a stain. If you just come back and bring this thing to me, they will give you anything you want short of like a new car. Like they would replace floor mats, they'd detail your car, fill it up with gas, oil changes, anything. If you would just please come back and fill that motherfucker out. And I would bribe them every time. I'd be very open about that. I was like, even if the customer's angry, I'd be like, look, I know you didn't enjoy your experience today, but let me tell you how I can bribe you to pretend to lie and say you did.
Dude, I had the guy who sold me my car text me half a dozen times over the next 2 weeks after I bought it in like 2018 or whatever, where he's like, I really need that 10 from you, Taylor. Can I get that 10 from you? And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll give you the 10. I go to give him a 10. I have to sign in with Facebook. So I have to make a Facebook account to give him a 10. And I was like, is there a way to do it without making a Facebook account? And he was like, no. And I'm like, damn. Then I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm not making a Facebook to give you a 10. That's not going to happen.
Oh, that's sad, man. He probably lost his job.
Probably lost his job. They should have had a fucking option to just click 10 stars. I would have given him 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, whatever. But I'm not making a Facebook for it. That's ridiculous.
I don't like it when... I don't want to act like I'm a big shot, but like my Facebook has a lot of people looking at it. And when they're like, Woody, we want you to click our business. It's like, for free? Well, for kindness? Like, People
Yeah.
fucking look me up. People like it.
Woody's a big fucking deal,
I need,
right?
I need a little cashola.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
smooth
know.
this
You're like,
transaction.
what? It's almost like, hey, we want you to mention us on your podcast. Well, I mean, you can buy that.
We'll
Yeah.
do that for money.
Yeah, if you give us money, we'll do that. But something else I wanted to ask Sam. So you did the car sales thing for 8 months. I think you're like Kyle's age, like 36. So clearly you had other jobs before you got into the entertainment, field. What did you do? Like, what were your first jobs that you hated so much you left and pursued this?
I did sports marketing graphics for stadiums.
What does that mean? Like,
which
go
sucked.
Cardinals or something?
Yes, it sucked. I did graphics at a motion graphics place that did stuff for like Discovery Channel and fucking National Geographic, and that sucked. And I briefly worked at an aluminum shaving, it's like a metalworking place. I worked there for 1 day. It was the worst. That was probably the worst job.
How did that go?
So during the years when you're working at the metal shaving place,
No, the day.
The day.
okay, and like selling cars and making graphic designs, like what are you wanting to be doing during that time? Like and who like you've got a very unique brand of humor. Who are your influences? Like who is it that you thought was funny growing up that maybe you took a little bit from?
I think I don't think I had any crazy like ambitions to be famous or anything. I think I was so dissatisfied with all the other options, and I've sent my resume. I've sent probably like 1,000 resume emails. That was the most humiliating process ever. Like directly after exiting college and sending my resume out 1,000 times and having like my dad give me pep talks about how this process, like what a great process this is.
Are you shaking their hand?
Yeah, a firm handshake. Look him in the
Oh
eye.
shit!
That type of thing.
Oh no!
So I just like, everything else was bullshit. So I became a YouTuber. That's really all there is. That's all
So
there is
you're
to
like,
it, man.
well, people are making a bunch of retarded nonsense on Kickstarter. I can do that.
Yeah. And it wasn't even like I'm gonna be the next guy. It was just like I fucking hate all this other shit. I gotta just make a YouTube video and get famous. And influences, it's hard for me to say not Tim and Eric because I never like binge watched Tim and Eric. Like I was aware of their style and everything, and it probably subconsciously seeped in. But I was never like, oh, this is the most amazing shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I definitely had that feeling for Wonder Chosen though. You ever see
That
Wonder
was
Chosen?
hilarious.
Wonder Chosen really like warped my world and kind of. I think that was pretty big.
I ended on that note. I love the
That was
wordplay.
the best
Very
shit
nice.
I've ever heard.